Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here to the Dr. Alan W. Sugarman Sports Complex at Fort Lee, as this is the setting and the backdrop for our Big North American Division girls soccer game here this afternoon between the visiting Dumont Huskies and the Fort Lee Bridgemen, both teams looking for their first wins of the 2022 campaign. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by my producer, Dimitri Nanis, and our camera operator, Mike Rachapi. So glad that he could join us here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. So after a late arrival here for Dumont, this is why the game is starting a little later than the scheduled 4 p.m. start time. Dumont 0-1 on the season. They began their season at home, a 6-0 defeat at the hands of Mawa, while Fort Lee kicked off their season on the road, losing to the Paladins of Paramus Catholic 7-0. First matchup of the season between these two league rivals. Fort Lee's going to be sporting their black home uniforms, Dumont in their road white uniforms. A season ago, Fort Lee swept both meetings in the regular season with the Huskies, winning on September 14th, 3-2 at Dumont, and then returning here at home and winning a 2-0 decision on October 14th. So Fort Lee's going to be trying to continue their run of success against Dumont and try to kick off a brand new slate of league games on the right foot with a win here at home. Fort Lee's going to be hitting the road after this one for their next 3 consecutive games against Dwight Morrow, Tenafly, and Ridgeville Park before coming back home on September 22nd to play host to the Bears of Bergenfield. Dumont is going to be just kicking off a 4-game road trip here today, as they will be road warriors for the next couple of games. After today's contest, they will travel to Westwood, then head to Cliffside Park, and then take on Ramsey before finally coming back home to host Dwight Morrow in a league game on September 28th. So just the quirk of the schedule, seeing Dumont starting off the season 4 of their first 5 games away from home. Dumont is coached by Sarah Smith. And for Fort Lee, Calogero Pagano in his 6th season in charge of the Bridgman program. Cal led Fort Lee to the American Division title in 2020 when they went unbeaten in league play. A season ago, they fell in the final fixture of the regular season against Dwight Morrow for a chance to repeat as American Division champs. So they're going to be hoping again they get a positive result here today that will get them off and running in the right direction. Fort Lee a season ago, fans, went 6-9 overall, finished in second place, as I just alluded to, in the Big North American Division, with a 6-2 overall league record, behind only Dwight Morrow's 7-1 divisional championship season. While Dumont, they had a tough sledding in the 2021 season, going 1-15 overall, picking up their lone win against league rival Ridgeville Park on September 11th, a 5-0 victory. Dumont's looking for their first win against Fort Lee since October 6th of 2018. So after the officials met with both teams, and both teams now will break their respective huddles, we will finally get to the opening kickoff here from the Sugarman Sports Complex. Beautiful day for soccer, as we have been dealing with rain over the course of the last week, but no rain in the forecast right now. It is very comfortable, 82 degrees, as we're about to have kickoff. Cloudy day, nice sun shining and sneaking in as well. So both teams not only looking for their first win of the season, also looking to score their first goal after both were shut out in their first contest of this 2022 brand new soccer season. Taylor Badrato is going to be getting the start in goal for Fort Lee, the senior, who had 10 saves all of last season in net for Coach Pagano. And on the other side, it will be number 0, Ali Arango, the junior, who despite the loss in her first game, put up 22 saves in a losing effort in their game against Mawa. So we'll go to the midfield. As everybody conferring, timer is correct and ready, and we are about to get underway. First soccer broadcast of the season for the girls soccer team here at Fort Lee. So glad you could join us on YouTube. As Dumont trying to bring it over to the far side of the field. Getting it to Kelly Bombach What a goal last season, number 6 in white and orange. As the Huskies will throw it in. As Fort Lee looks to play it long and will force Dumont to go collected back deep in their own defensive end. Karina Machia, number 7, the senior, was trying to get to it. As that goes out of bounds to the near side, will be a throw-in now on the near sideline for Fort Lee. Bridgman finishing second in the division a season ago. They went on to play in the first round of the North 1 Group 3 sectional playoffs, qualifying for the 16-team field, and lost to Wayne Valley in the first round. Fort Lee has won 4 straight in this series against Dumont, dating back to the 2020 season. They had a tie in 2019, and again, the last time that Dumont won was in 2018. They were trying to link up top with Sarah Coster. Could not get it to her. Turnover forced. As now Fort Lee trying to get it over to the far side. They'll be trying to get it to Alexa Castro, number 10. Castro is the leading scorer returning from last year's season. 7 goals, 5 assists for 19 points as a freshman. Number 10 in black. She's in the midfield, lurking for her opportunity, trying to score the first goal of the season for Fort Lee. Going over to the far side, and not able to track it down was Fort Lee, but last touched out of bounds off of Dumont, so it's going to be possession now for the Bridgemen. Just over 2 minutes gone by here. Thanks again for joining us. A late start because of a late arrival time for Dumont. Played back to around midfield as patiently Fort Lee will try to work and find an opening. Ball is stalling away though. Here comes Dumont down the far side as that's deflected out of bounds. Last touch off of Fort Lee, so it's going to be possession for Dumont with a throw-in just in front of the Fort Lee bench. Bridgman popping it up now over to the near side. Castro now with possession at her feet in the midfield. She's directing over to the near side. Good look up the field. Down to the near side to Ellis Marcus. Marcus driving into the box. Has her defender on her backside. Here's a chip shot, and that one goes high and wide and up and over. So that'll go out for a goal kick. But a good build up there. That was the first real scoring opportunity of the game for either team, as Ellis Marcus, the freshman midfielder, was trying to feed back to Alexa Castro. Like I said, Castro was the leading goal scorer a season ago for Coach Pagano and Fort Lee, scoring 7 goals on the season. And a brilliant debut at the varsity level for number 10. Orango trying to get it up top, but that's going to be skewered away. Possession earned by Fort Lee. Nice give and go. There's an opportunity, stood up. Good defensive work there in the interior, as Fort Lee was bringing it right down Broadway, trying to get that shot opportunity off. Again in the box, and dogged defending there by Dumont. So they get it out to space. They try to get it up top to Carly Landorzi, number 10. Another long ball. Good job of staying on side by Fort Lee. Kira Hughes, number 8, cleaning it up on the back line. Here's a turnover. Fort Lee rolling that one on nets, and a save made by Orango. But Fort Lee is really starting to bring more and more pressure and putting that pressure on the back line. As that'll go out of bounds to the near side, will be a throw-in now for the Bridgemen. They get it to Castro. Showing off the footwork. Great move there to beat her defender, Emily Riley. Up top To Joellen Rodriguez, number 18, got it back to Castro. Castro weaving her way through, takes the left-footed shot right into the hands of Arango, though. Arango with another save, but Fort Lee really doing a good job of winning the possession, getting the shot opportunities, and putting the pressure consistently on Dumont. And long ball will trickle all the way out of bounds to the far side. Will be another throw-in for Fort Lee. Dumont has not been able to really possess the ball and get an opportunity to uncork a shot of their own on the other side. Just see the talent on full display again for Alexa Castro. We saw that just her ability to dribble, maintain possession despite having a defender right on her. And then even getting that shot off on target and forcing Arango to make the save. There's a shot from distance, and Arango will easily handle that on one bounce. Coming up on 33.5 minutes left to go. Scoreless right now, but Fort Lee is definitely threatening to open up the scoring in this game. Now Dumont trying to pressure their way up front. Landorzi was putting the pressure on the back line for Fort Lee, and they'll have to clear it out of bounds to the near side. It'll be possession and a throw-in now for Riley. Knocked out of bounds again off of the Bridgeman, so it's going to be a throw-in here for Dumont. Machia sends that one in on a line drive. It'll be handled on 2 hops by Bedrado. Bridgeman a season ago scored 27 goals in 15 games, averaging 1.8 goals per contest. Lead pass down the near side. Here comes Fort Lee down the other way. A shot just on the run as that curls its way wide of the mark to the far side, out of bounds. Once again, good movement there, even off the ball to get to that opportunity, and long pass down the near side, just couldn't get the accuracy to link it in to the far side post. Pass over to the far side. Trying to get it to the near side. Dumont stepping up. Deflected last touch. Out of bounds off of Dumont. Throwing it back in is Diabata. Bata is going to get the ball again. Number 7 in black will administer the throw in. Here's Castro again, the maestro of the offense. Look at that quick turn. Defender falls down behind her. She still is on the ball. Stopping and starting and weaving and looking for an outlet. Gets it to her teammate. Rodriguez fires that one up and over the crossbar of the football uprights and a little too high of the crossbar of the soccer net. Out of play, but it's been utter domination the first 9 minutes of play here by Fort Lee, but nothing to show for it yet for the Bridgemen, as it remains scoreless in this big North American Division showdown. Dumont in the whites, Fort Lee in the black. A lot of the possession has been staying here in the back for Dumont. They've been struggling to try to get it up the field themselves. And the Huskies were shut out here last season. October 14th was the second meeting of the regular season between these two sides. It was a 2-0 win that day for Fort Lee. They won the initial meeting 3-2, rallying from behind against Dumont on the road. Pressured, and that goes out of bounds. That'll go out for another goal kick for Dumont, as we are now 10 minutes into this start of the first half. Thanks for watching on Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Mike Rachapi. Honored to be with you here on a Warm but pleasant feeling early September day. A home opener of the 2022 season for Fort Lee after they began their season on the road at Paramus Catholic. Rodriguez trying to play it up. Fort Lee trying to get to it with Angelina Latte on the far side. Want to fit that inside is going to be deflected. Last touch off of Dumont, so that will be a corner kick earned to the near side corner for Fort Lee. So again, they've just tilted this field completely, other than one real entry into the offensive zone. It's been all Fort Lee camped out on this side. Kick taken to the near side corner. Out to the top of the box, trying to chest that down. Just could not get a clean touch of it. Now Castro will recollect the possession. Around the 20-yard line, trying to push that one forward. Ball's loose in front. Now a whistle sounds, and it's going to be a foul whistled against Fort Lee. Using that free arm, and it's going to set up a free kick now here for Dumont. One of the defenders will handle this free kick just outside of the penalty area. They'll chip ahead forward. Now the back line will have to race back to collect this one for Fort Lee. They'll play it back to their keeper, Pedrato. Clears it out to space as Dumont now pairing it back into the zone. Knocked down to the far side. Lucia Koretsky. Up top, trying to get to it, but again, just that last touch would trade Fort Lee, as that'll allow Arango to secure it. Played forward by Ruka Suzuki, as she fell down after possession was collected by Sarah Koster. Played long over to the far side. Now it's going to be a throw-in. Possession of the midfield for Fort Lee. Dumont briefly had the turnover force right in front of the Fort Lee sideline, but last touch out of bounds off of the foot of Koster. Sarah Koster, number 15 in white, 4 goals, 1 assist a season ago, a senior now for Dumont. She was one of the leading scorers for the Huskies in 2021. Good job of carving out the possession as Castro bringing it over to the near side, but the last touch on the deflection, out of bounds to the near side off of Dumont. Once again, possession here for Fort Lee. We're trying to throw it in, but it looks like they committed a violation on the throw-in, so possession's going to be lost and given over to Dumont. Knocked down. Bauda getting it over to Ellis Marcus. Trying to feed over to the far side. Popped up in the air, headed down. Fort Lee with a build-up. Here's inside the scoring area. That's deflected. Last touch off of the leg of Gabby Galvez, number 16 of Dumont. And that's going to earn Fort Lee another corner kick. As we're coming up on 15 minutes elapsed here in the first half of play. Scoreless between Fort Lee and Dumont, and this the first league match of the season for both teams. Corner going to be taken to the far side by the Bridgemen. In swinger with the ball deflected off of the back of Castro out to the near side space. Taken in by Velate. Ball popped out to the space. Dumont trying to run it down. Aaron Adamili doing a good job of getting it out to the far side. Kira Redfern now operating, dribbling in the top of the box. That was the best entry so far in this first half by Dumont. Good job, aggressive defending, though, by the Bridgman, getting it over the other side. Now here's a breakaway opportunity here for Fort Lee. 1v1, and the shot, a save made by the keeper, Aragona. Arango making the save in that time with the opportunity there for Fort Lee. They had timed it up perfectly, stayed on side with a long pass. It was just 1v1, but they could not get it home. We're trying to find Jordana Marcus. Castro tries to dribble past one defender. Draped alongside her was Redfern. Back up top again, the give and go. Latte was trying to get it to her teammate. Olivia Krautz could not get that and keep that in bounds. That'll go out of bounds near midfield, and it's going to be a throw-in for Dumont. 23 minutes left to go here in the first half of play. Played forward at the feet of Lendrauzi. Out of bounds throw in now, and possession for Fort Lee. Bridgman have had certainly numerous opportunities so far here in the first half. They've had the better of the play. Haven't been rewarded for it yet. Centering ball in the box. Could not clear it cleanly, though. Leaves it now to Castro. Castro nearly had a chance to uncork a shot. Two different defenders came to her. A lot of pressure, a lot of contact. We play on. There's a shot from distance, but whistled wide of the mark to the left side. That'll go out for another goal kick. But Angelina Velate, the freshman, making her home debut here as a varsity player, is trying to give that one a go. And Ali Arango, the junior keeper for Dumont, 22 saves in that season opening loss against Mawa. She's been a busy customer so far here in the first half as well. Has made a couple of nice saves. Trying to link up top again with Marcus. Jordana Marcus, captain for Fort Lee. 4 goals, 1 assist last season. She loved having the matchups against Dumont as well, scoring 2 of her 4 goals on the year in the 2 games against the Huskies. As Fort Lee will chip that past midfield back into the offensive end. Castro again making a nice turn, sneaking away after there was a challenge attempt there by Galvez. Here's Castro, weaving her way through the defense. Double team comes to her. She needs some help from her teammates. She was even trying to say to her teammate, get open in space. She's drawing a couple of different defenders to her in the ball. But no chance for Castro to assist on any other opportunities. Ball still finds a way to stay in bounds the whole time to the far side as Kraut will play it back to Pedrado. Pedrado to the midfield trying to get to Velate. Up the field goes Haley So. Long ball. Coming off her line to pick it up, though, was Arango. She'll slow things down as now there's Under 20 minutes now left to go here in the first half. We've crossed by the midway point of the first half of play. Play has been dominated by Fort Lee, but again, it's still scoreless on the scoreboard where it matters the most. Good take up the field, now feeding off to Castro. Castro just trying to make that one player miss and get her a chance maybe to have a scoring opportunity right in the middle of the field. Played over. Castro. Good pass to Ellis. Ellis Marcus. Here's Marcus. Trying to fit that one in. Double team came to her. Deflected out of bounds to the near side. Will be a throw in now for the Bridgemen. Marcus chips it in. Knocked down in front of the goal by one of the defenders. Ball is loose up in the air. Dumont desperately trying to clear it out of its own end. Now it skitters out to space. Lindauersy could not get to it. And Fort Lee will just smash that one out of bounds to the far side. Off of the foot of Haley So, the junior. So had a goal against Dumont last year for Fort Lee. Number 19 in black. 2 goals, 1 assist for 5 points in the 2021 season. Good turnover force. Castro again trying to make the turn. Speeding by one defender, now getting it close to the box, still on her feet, takes the shot, and scores! Alexa Castro gets the first goal of the season for Fort Lee. With 17:48 left to go here in the first half of play, Castro scores the goal. She finally got that opportunity, made that one defender miss. That's the step she needed. Maintained her balance as it looked like she was close to falling down inside the penalty area and still maintained the balance and rocketed that one in the back of the net. So Fort Lee's hard work pays off in the finish. Here's Castro again. So Alexa Castro had a 7-goal season as a freshman. Starts off her sophomore year in game number 2 with her first goal of 2022. Kicked down by the back line. Machia tries to play it forward. Kraut. Played up top to So. So spreading it wide to the far side. Can Fort Lee run underneath it? No, they can't. Just goes out of bounds to the far side. Before Lacey Barris could get underneath that one. So a 1-0 lead for Fort Lee on top of Dumont here as we're coming up on just under 17 minutes left to go in the first half of play. No shot opportunities yet for Dumont that really have been of concern for Bedrado on the opposite side. She doesn't mind having a boring first half, knowing that that means that her offense has been doing the job on the other side and constantly administering pressure here in this league matchup. Good possession over here to the near side. That one is a roller. Handled nicely, though, by Arango. Another shot on goal for Fort Lee. Dumont just can't get possession of the ball all that often. Now they have a chance here at a potential breakout, but just cleanly could not be handled. Now it gets to Castro. Castro just dizzying past a couple of defenders. She falls down. Good challenge, though, by Gabby Galvez, one of the captains here for Dumont, along with Elizabeth Silver. Now the Huskies with a build-up and a counterattack the other way. Fake the initial shot, rolling that one just wide of the mark to the near side post. So the one time that Dumont was really able to consistently hold on to the possession, they created an opportunity with a counterattack and a shot. Good idea, too, of the pump fake on the fake shot that allowed the defender to fly by initially, but then the following shot was off the mark. Goal kick's going to be handled here by a defender for Fort Lee to kick it out to space to Castro. Castro across the middle of the field. Her pass is deflected away. Now over to the near side to Ellis Marcus. Castro with the intercept. Can she find Jordana Marcus up top? Castro still holding on to the possession, just can't get that opportunity to feed another teammate. Ball loose over down, just underneath us at the broadcast vantage point in the press box here at the Sugarman Sports Complex. Out of bounds, and now possession for Ellis Marcus. Trying to sprint down that near side and put a little pressure on Galvez. We're trying to get it to the feet of Elizabeth Silver. Really hasn't gotten that many touches at forward yet for Dumont, one of the captains. As that rolls out of play, there will be another goal kick upcoming for Dumont. So all things considered for the Huskies, sure, you don't want to be trailing at all in the course of a game, but to be trailing only 1-0 right now, despite the majority of this first half being in this one side of the field, if they could somehow find a way to just be down 1 heading to halftime, they know that they're in the thick of things here. Koretsky was trying to get to it for Fort Lee. Now a little pressure being administered, and Adamili is called for being a little too over-aggressive at the push in the back of Velate. Free kick upcoming now here for Fort Lee. So, nice diagonal ball to the far side, trying to free Boris. She's in the box, takes that chip shot, just missed it. Great opportunity there for Fort Lee. Shot was just off the mark as that was elevated and was looking like it was going to be potentially destined for the back of the net. Following today's home opener, Fort Lee will hit the road for the next 3 consecutive games and will then eventually return home to host Bergenfield on September 22nd. Games next on the horizon include a matchup against defending league champions Dwight Morrow on September 15th. Then September 16th, they travel to Tenafly and then back in divisional play on the road against the Scarlets of Ridgeville Park on September 20th. Dumont will win possession back to the far side. Stolen away by Koretsky, sophomore. Fort Lee just trying to put that across the middle. Castro. Should win back possession and does. Here's Castro with it. Chips that one on a couple of hops. Not really challenging there for Arango. Fort Lee sometimes have just been a little over anxious once they've garnered the possession of the ball, not really setting themselves for a tougher shot. Just kind of just throwing something towards the net. And a couple of these have been just easily handled on 1 or 2 bounces. Played all the way back. Going back to collect that one was going to be Hughes, and then she just lets that go to her keeper, Arango. To the near side, Fort Lee with the misplay. Good cleanup, though, work by Suzuki. Long ball chasing after it. Suzuki has to put on the burners a bit as Silver was there lurking, but Drado well off her line to kick that one away. That was anxious defending right there for Fort Lee. Now Castro setting a long ball right up the middle. Curling centering ball, but Marcus falling down the other way. Not able to really get a lot of mustard underneath that crosser. Now stolen away briefly by Haley So. To Castro. To the near side to Ellis Marcus. Tries to go 1v1 against the defensive Kira Hughes. Castro, centering ball. So steps up. So with a path in front of her. She could get that shot off in time. So in the box, takes the left-footed shot and scores! Haley So with the second goal of the half for Fort Lee, with 9:45 left to go in half number 1. So the Bridgemen have doubled their advantage now to 2-0. And a nice move right up the middle by Haley So, the junior, who had 2 goals and an assist a season ago. She maneuvered her way up tight and then was able with the left foot to finish it home. So Fort Lee now on top by 2. 2-0. Coming up on 9.5 minutes left to go in our first half of play. Koretsky. Her outlet is knocked down as that's deflected out of bounds. So the goal scorers, Haley So and Alexa Castro in this game right now for Fort Lee, as that's sent down the other way. Arango boots that one just shy of midfield, handled by So. So being watched by Koster. Now a little pressure being administered by Elizabeth Silver. She wins back the ball. Whistle sounds. Possession's going to stay with Dumont, and a free kick upcoming for the Huskies. Trying to get on the board just before halftime. 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half of play. Huskies have been limited to very few opportunities to even possess the ball, let alone get shots. They'll head this one forward. Pedrada will be forced into service, and she'll take that one off the bounce. As that's deflected off of Ellis Marcus last. There'll be a throw in now for Dumont. Down the near side. They try to link up here. It's once again cleared out of harm's way down the near side. There'll be possession still and a throw in for Dumont. Trying to get a toe on it was Emily Riley. Comes out to space to Castro. Castro with a breakout. Good link up to the far side. Here comes Fort Lee with a counterattack. They push ahead forward. We have a step on the defense. Good recovery defense, though, by Kira Hughes, the junior. And Dumont will look to break it up the other way. Up top, taken away. Latte. Koretsky. Koretsky with the ball now. Try to lead one inside to Marcus. Jordana Marcus, that was. There's Silver again. The Dumont captain's trying to get her team back in this game. They trail by 2. Diagonal ball just off the mark, as Dumont was trying to get it to the far side to Daniela Moreno. That'll go out of bounds for a throw-in. Just close to Coach Pagano with 6.5 minutes left to go in our first half of play. As you're watching coverage of the 2022 home opener for the Fort Lee Varsity girls soccer team here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Deflected out of bounds to the far side will be another throw-in. And the offensive third now for Fort Lee. So trying to drop it at the feet. It bounces up high against Castro. She couldn't get to it in time. Bauda was playing it forward. Latte to the far side. Fort Lee have another goal in them just before halftime. Here's Koretsky. From distance, that one just rolls wide to the near right side. It's coming up on 5 minutes left to go in the first half. 2-0 the lead for Fort Lee. Could be a throw-in again for the Bridgemen, who have just been camped out on this side. They've tilted the field in their favor. They've had several different shot opportunities, and they've bested Ali Orango twice so far here in the first half. Fort Lee produced 5 combined goals in 2 games last year, both wins against Dumont, 3-2, and then a 2-0 victory here at home. They have an identical 2-0 lead here this afternoon. Latte, good ball to the far side. Popped up in space. So getting into it. So, who just had the last goal, takes her chances here, trying to double her accounts. Said that goes out of play. As we're closing in on 4 minutes left to go in our first half. Orango's pass is a dangerous one. There's a collision right inside the box. Comes loose. Ellis Marcus tried a low worm burner of a shot. Castro was looking back, incredulous at why there wasn't a potential penalty kick awarded to her, as she was taken down inside the box. It skewered its way out to Ellis Marcus to the near side, and the freshman was looking for her first ever varsity goal. Latte doing a good job of bringing it up the field, weaving all the way into the box. She goes in, takes the shot, and scores! Angelina Velate, the freshman, with her first ever varsity goal. And Fort Lee extends their lead now to 3-0 with 3:31 left to go here in the first half. And fans, alongside me, the man who does it all. He produces the broadcasts. He does the scoreboard. He's now doing the goal horn and goal songs and, might I add, exceptional at dispatching those pesky lantern flies. Dimitri Nanis. He's right up there with the 3 goal scorers as our player to watch here today, as that goes out of bounds to the far side with now 3 minutes left to go. 3-goal spurt here in the first half of play, as the Bridgemen playing really well in their home opener. Knocked down by So, making sure it doesn't touch her hand, as she then sends that one long down the far sideline. Dumont looked to have an opportunity, but offsides is the call, as Silver tried to time her run as when she was going to make the turn with that long ball and was trying to race after it. So free kick now upcoming. Under 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. 3 goals from 3 different goal scorers for Fort Lee. Alexa Castro, Haley So, and Angelina Velate. And for each of them, their first goals of the season. Extra special for Angelina Velate, her first ever varsity goal as a freshman, starting here in her home opener. Marcus trying to get it to the feet of Jordana Marcus. Could not turn around. Ball stays here with Fort Lee as we're quickly approaching the final 90 seconds of the first half. The throw-in just off the mark, so it's going to be possession and a throw-in here for Dumont. They throw it right back to the feet of Ellis Marcus, one of the other freshmen getting a start. Here's Castro trying to box out her defender. Double team coming to number 10. Just plays it off of the defense. That'll be a corner kick or out of bounds. They're going to say last touch off of Castro, so it's going to be going out for a goal kick. Now the final minute of the first half. Latte knocked off the ball. Passed over to the far side by Dumont. A little too long for the Huskies, as that'll be a throw-in now for Fort Lee. And maybe one final push up the field for the Bridgemen just before half. Koretsky parries that one forward. Heeled off by Redfern. Clears that one out of harm's way to the far side. Now 20 seconds left to go in the first half. And what a first half it has been. A half dominated by Fort Lee. And the Bridgemen, after being held in check for the first part of the first half, explode for 3 goals here in the last couple of moments. They'll take a commanding 3-0 lead into halftime as they send it back to their keeper, Pedrato, as the time will run out and the horn will sound. And the first 40 minutes of action in the books here for the 2022 home opener for the Fort Lee Bridgemen, who take a commanding 3-goal lead with them into halftime on top of league rival Dumont. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second half of play as you're watching all the action of the 2022 Fort Lee girls varsity soccer season here in your broadcast home for Fort Lee Athletics on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, to the Sugarman Sports Complex here in Fort Lee, New Jersey, as we're moments away for the resumption of play in the start of the second half, as Fort Lee dominant in that first half of play, scoring 3 times to take a 3-0 lead over the Dumont Huskies, as they're looking for not only their first win of the season, but first win in league play, as well as this is a Big North American Division showdown. Welcome back, everybody. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Mike Rachapi. Glad that you could join us here for our Fort Lee girls soccer broadcast here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Fort Lee had the majority of the possession in that first half, really tilted the field in their favor, just kept everything on the offensive side of the pitch. We're not really seeing any tangible results, though, from it. They were taking some shots even from distance that were being easily handled by the keeper, Ali Arango, for Dumont. But then after a dazzling run right up the middle, Alexa Castro found the back of the net for the first Bridgman goal of the season. That gave Fort Lee a 1-0 advantage. Then Haley So would double the Fort Lee lead with a goal of her own. And then Angelina Velate scored her first ever varsity goal as a freshman. And Fort Lee took a 3-0 lead, and that's where they stand right now as we're about to resume play in the start of the second half. This game again kicked off a little later than expected because of the late arrival of Dumont, so that's why we're just about to start the second half. Bridgman are in their black uniforms, Dumont in their road white. Fort Lee trying to make it 5 consecutive wins in this series against Dumont, dating back to 2020 as the second half is underway. They won both meetings a season ago 3-2 and then 2-0 here. They lead 3-0 after one half of play. Will Dumont be able to find a spark offensively and get on the board themselves? Nice play up down the near side to now Haley So. So lost possession. Tries to chip it ahead forward to herself, getting around Kira Hughes. Good recovery defense, knocks it out of bounds to the near side by Dumont. So it's going to be a throw-in with possession here by Fort Lee. Bridgman 0-1 on the season. Dumont also 0-1. Fort Lee coming off a 6-9 season a season ago. Dumont 1-15 a season ago. Their lone win against league rival Ridgefield Park. Both those teams finished 1-7 in the division. Cliffside Park was in third with a 5-3 league record. And then Dwight Morrow defeated Fort Lee here at the Sugarman Sports Complex to clinch a league championship. First ever in program history a season ago. Fort Lee trying to already open up their season with a league win. Here's Castro. Just a little high and wide. She was trying to aim to get it into that upper left-hand corner. That'll go out now for Arango and a goal kick. Nice comfortable day in the low 80s here. Sun is shining brightly. It's been nice clouds in the sky as well, so it's not super hot. Not what we've been seeing recently, whether it be in the preseason, early vestiges of the season from a week ago, that heat and cramping set in and be a factor. Nothing so far. Nice centering ball. Castro with the one-timer and a beautiful save by Arango. Her best save of the afternoon, robbing Castro of her second goal. Arango coming well out of her goal, and that's going to be slipped in. Oh, just missing to the far side. Haley So nearly made Arango pay for coming all the way out of her net to try to garner that possession. Good dribbling here, and once again, Fort Lee just administering that constant pressure. Here's Castro, just missed moments ago. A step on the ball. Now turns and fires, missing to the near side as that goes out of play. So we saw Castro denied a first opportunity of a goal here in the second half. Then a beautiful pass from Jordana Marcus, getting it right back to Castro. Castro was robbed by Arango. And then Haley So, on a bad angle, nearly slipped it in right inside that far side post for what would have been her second goal of the day. Here's Jordana Marcus. Marcus centering ball and taken and picked right out of the air by Arango. Arango taking her time to clear this up the field. Drop kicks it away. Dumont getting it into the defensive zone of Fort Lee territory. Bauda will come back to collect that one to the far side. Bauda gets to it in time. Dumont with the turnover forced. Here come the Huskies. Long ball to the far side. Falling though. Not able to free themselves over to that far side. Taken to the midfield by Redfern. Back to Kiera Redfern, the senior, who was the starting goalie, number 19. She was the starter in goal for Dumont. She made 138 saves on the season, now a position player. On a play in that midfield, also in the back line. Going back to collect that, send it away to the far side was Machia, number 7. It'll be a throw-in now for Fort Lee, deep in the offensive end of the field. 5 minutes gone by in this second half. Try to get it to the feet of Elda Shuki, number 5, a sophomore, who's coming to the game for the first time for Fort Lee. Castro. Back to Livia Kraut. To the near side, it goes to Haley So. Here's So. Diagonal ball. Trying to box out her defender is Marcus. Jordana Marcus does get whistled for using the arm to her advantage. It's going to be a foul whistled against one of the two Fort Lee captains. As Dumont sends it down the other way. Huskies setting it forward. Intercepted though. Velate. Arango will venture all the way out to scoop that one up before Jordana Marcus can get to it. Kraut. Pass knocked down as she was trying to link up with Ellis Marcus. Ball's loose here for Dumont. Here come the Huskies with a build-up. As Kraut will skewer that one out of bounds to the lower side. That'll allow for some substitutions to be made by both teams. 32:40 left to go here in the second half. Fort Lee in control of this divisional matchup, 3-0 on top of Dumont. Velate playing it back to So. Over the near side, here comes Castro. Open field. Had a teammate in Jordana Marcus on the far side. Didn't elect to get it to her, though. Still possession here for Fort Lee with Haley So. Velate. Back to So. So splits the double team. Still venturing her way forward. So uncorks the right-footed shot and scores! What a beautiful finish by Haley So. Her second goal of the afternoon. The junior scores to make it a 4-0 lead now for Fort Lee with 31:27 left to go here in the second half. So did a marvelous job of dribbling through a double team, getting to space and uncorking that right-footed shot that went into the upper 90 in the top corner of the net. Haley So with 2 of Fort Lee's 4 goals. 31:23 left to go here in regulation. And Fort Lee on their way to their first win of 2022. They were shut out in their opener and now put up a 4 spot here. Trying to lead ball to Lacey Boris to the near side. Just a little too long for her as that goes out of bounds. Koretsky playing it wide. Jordana Marcus into the box. Here comes Jordana Marcus. Chip shot. Orango with the save. Denying one of the captains, Jordana Marcus, of her first goal of the season. Jordana Marcus, 4 goals, 1 assist last season, 2 goals in 2 games against Dumont. Ali Orango with a great save there on the far post. Goes out of bounds, will set up a corner kick. As we're approaching 10 minutes gone by here in the second half. Fort Lee picking up right where they left off at halftime. They scored 3 in the first half, 1 goal already here in half number 2. And Haley So would want that service back as she curls that one past the end line. That'll go out of bounds for a goal kick. So Haley So now with 2 goals here this afternoon. Go along with the goals scored by Alexa Castro and Angelina Velate. Castro intercepting. Just outside the 10-yard line, trying to find space. Chips that one on goal, and Orango again making the stop. Ali Orango, the junior keeper, had 22 saves in their opener while allowing 6 goals in the defeat against Mahwah. She's been solid here despite giving up the 4 goals today against the Bridgemen. The give-and-go attempts off the mark by the Huskies will be a throw-in with possession here for Fort Lee. Both these teams will hit the road after this one. Their next 3 consecutive games each will be on the road. Dumont will travel to take on Westwood on September 15th. And on that same day, Fort Lee will travel to take on reigning divisional champs Dwight Morrow. Trying to hand the Maroon Raiders a loss after Dwight Morrow came here and won that decisive final game of the regular season that assured them a league championship and some history as well in the process. Dumont will then, after taking on Westwood on the 15th, will travel to Cliffside Park for their second league match on September 20th, before then traveling to take on the Rams of Ramsey on the 24th. Fort Lee will have that next game, a league game against Dwight Morrow, then an out-of-conference game against Tenafly, before then traveling to Ridgeville Park for their third league match, before finally coming back home to host Bergenfield on September 22nd. Fort Lee's next home league game will come all the way almost a month from today, and will be October 6th when they'll take on Dwight Morrow for their second meeting of the regular season here at the Sugarman Sports Complex. As that's played out of bounds to the far side, will be a Dumont throw-in. Just over 27 minutes left to go in regulation. Inside the box. Ball spinning with a little English on it. Played over to the far side. Dumont trying to send it right back in. It's deflected out to space. There's a long-range shot opportunity, but measuring it up all the way and gauging that it was going wide was Taylor Pedrato. Pedrato, the senior keeper this year for Coach Pagano in net for Fort Lee. Had a 10-save performance in the state playoffs against Wayne Valley a season ago. All of Fort Lee's victories in 2021, the 6 victories came within the American Division. Did not win any games outside of their division a season ago in their 6-9 run to the state playoffs. First year that Fort Lee was participating in the North 1 Group 3 playoffs. Good long ball. It's breakaway to the other side, just 1v1. Keeper Arango comes all the way out. And now they're going to say a whistle, and it's going to be a free kick upcoming for Fort Lee because Arango touched it with her hands outside of the box area. Ellis Marcus had the opportunity. It was just her and the keeper just couldn't slide it past to then have a chance at a wide open net. So now it's going to be a free kick opportunity just outside the edge. Looks like it might be Castro or So. Maybe the ones trying to handle this one. Castro will line it up. She'll take the shot. Just the riser elevates a little too high over the crossbar, as that will go out for an ensuing goal kick. That was the play that Arango had to make there. Beautiful long ball pass. Just had someone wide open in Ellis Marcus behind the back line of Dumont. If she didn't come out and cut down that angle and get that opportunity, even though it led to an eventual free kick, that was going to be easy pickings on a breakaway goal finish for Fort Lee. Latte over to the far side. Here's Ellis Marcus. And now offsides the call against Fort Lee. Coach Pagano has to like what he's been able to see in terms of the offensive chemistry from his team this afternoon. Having some new and young faces into the lineup for the first time as varsity contributors. And also seeing some of his veterans cashing in again. Haley So with a pair of goals. Castro, who started as a freshman a season ago, already a gritty sophomore. Castro with 8 goals in her career already. And this is the second game of her sophomore season. Jordana Marcus. She's looking to open her account for this new season. Slides it across the middle. Tip shot and a score! Oh, unselfish there. Jordana Marcus getting it over to the left foot of Alexa Castro. Castro now with 2 goals. And it's a 5-goal lead for Fort Lee. So Castro with a pair, Haley So with a pair to go along with the Velate goal, and Fort Lee has scored 5 times here this afternoon. That was a beautiful finish off a pinpoint pass delivered from Jordana Marcus. So the senior captain getting the assist on that goal. Finished off by Castro, who's closing down the middle. Got her left foot on it in time to just slide it past Arango, who had no chance of making that stop on the one-timer. Now another long ball up the middle. Ball is loose to the near side. There's a chip shot. Arango getting a piece of it, but did she get enough? She didn't, as that will go as a goal. Lacey Boris, the sophomore, getting her first goal of the season. Arango would come out to try to get a piece of it, and she did with the save, but there was just way too much velocity still on that one, as that found its way into the back of the net for the goals. So Lacey Barris getting into the fun. 6-0 lead for Fort Lee with 23:07 left to go here in the second half. So the Bridgemen have scored 3 goals in the first half, 3 more already here in half number 2. They gave up 7 goals in their first game of the season on the road against Paramus Catholic. They're one goal away from matching that goal total themselves here in game number 2. And this game matters even more because it's a league fixture. As Dumont looking to clear it now. What a performance here in the home opener for the Fort Lee varsity girls soccer team. Played up top. Velate takes the shot, curls just a little too far and wide to the right side. So Dumont had surrendered 6 goals in their season opener against Mahwah. 6 more goals surrendered here today against Fort Lee. Six goals scored here today match their season high from a season ago when Fort Lee defeated Ridgefield Park 6-1 late in the regular season. So, has her pass deflected out of bounds to the near side. As we're coming up on the midway points of half number 2. Reminder, fans, that you could join us for more Fort Lee athletics coverage here on the broadcast channel on YouTube, as we will be back here to the Sugarman Sports Complex later on this week for a varsity boys soccer match. As Jordana Marcus weaving her way up top. Ellis Marcus trying to get to it as it's cleared away to the far side and out of bounds. Boys team will be playing host to Dwight Morrow here on Thursday afternoon. So you could tune in on YouTube to see all the action. The boys team, as we broadcast last week, opened up their season at home. Suffered a tough 2-1 setback against Paramus Catholic. They'll try to get their first win here at home, as well as get a league victory as well under their belts. So more goals in this game than they did in a single game all of last season, as they put up 7 goals, and Alexa Castro now with a hat trick. 2 goals here in the second half to go along with her goal that opened up the scoring way back in the early vestiges of half number 1. Coach Pagano going to his bench, subbing on a couple of players now to get some varsity experience under their belts. Again, coming up on 20 minutes left to go in this one. So now Fort Lee has scored 7 goals in the season and have given up 7 goals on the year as well. As that's rolled out of bounds to the near side, it will be a throw-in. So the Bridgemen have felt both the ups and downs so far through the first 2 games of the year. Suzuki trying to play it up top to Velate. Velate trying to race after that one, played forward by Emily Riley. Far side it goes out of bounds. As that rolls out of bounds to the far side after number 9, Maeve Bisher, was trying to track that down for Dumont. So will handle the goal kick. Sent long to the far side as Marcus once again was just trying to box out her defender. Now here's a build-up in the far side for Dumont. The Huskies looking for that first goal of the season. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to be last touch off of Fort Lee, so it's going to be a corner kick awarded to Dumont. So the Huskies preparing for the set piece on the far side. Corner kick upcoming. Curl to the top of the box, knocked down by Koster. Koster gets to it. To the far side, sent back in, ranging over. Badrato made the save, and then gobbles up the ensuing rebound. That was a nice, accurate shot by Dumont to the far side. They were going to that far side post, nearly had enough of a spin and velocity on it. Badrato got a piece of it, and there was a juicy rebound opportunity, and she pounced on it just in time. So, tries to play the long ball to the near side. Racing after it is Castro. She already has 3 in the game. Castro takes the shot on a line, scores! Alexa Castro now with 4 goals in this game. She's got a second half hat trick as well. And now it's 8 goals here this afternoon for the Bridgemen. So Alexa Castro, all of last season as a freshman, put up 7 goals, 5 assists. She is 1 goal away from matching that season total, or getting close to. She's got 4 goals in this game, had 7 goals all of last season. Fort Lee was up 3-0 at halftime. They have poached 5 more goals here in the second half, as they are on their way to their first win of the 2022 season. Whistle sounds after Dumont was trying to advance up the middle. So Castro with 4 goals, Barris with a goal, Velate with a goal, and Haley So with 2. Key for Fort Lee is going to be a case of how do you bottle up this offensive output today, putting up the 8 goals in a single game. How do you have some left over, certainly for your next match? A big one on the horizon against Dwight Morrow. It's a matchup of the 2 top teams in the American Division from a season ago. Fort Lee lost both games to Dwight Morrow a season ago, including the decisive one here that led to the Maroon Raiders capturing the league title. Fort Lee on their way to starting off the brand new season 1-0 in divisional play. The far side deflected. Possession won back by Dumont. And for Dumont, it's just the growing pains of a young program with young talent out there on the field, trying to get them ingratiated into the varsity experience. Just haven't been able to win possession in the 50-50 balls in the midfield and generate that those offensive opportunities themselves. Here's an opportunity presenting itself. Chip forward off of the foot of Kelly Bombach, who had a goal last season. Under 14 and a half minutes now left to go in this game. The top of the box rolled in. Badrato again cleanly handles it. Badrato really hasn't been tested all that often here today. Dumont has been presenting more opportunities offensively here in the second half compared to the first half, where it was really all possession on one side of the pitch for Fort Lee. So wholesale changes about to be made by Sarah Smith, as it looks like 3 new Huskies about to check into the field. As they make those subs and now re-trigger play with the throw-in. Here's Castro. What a day for the sophomore. Castro knocked off the ball, though. Adam Milley doing a good job. Winning the possession briefly. So winning back the ball. She's a goal away from a hat trick of her own. Ball is left to Dumont. They take the shot. It curls in to the near side, but just wide of the net. Aaron Aloka, number 2, the junior, had an opportunity on a misplay in the back line by Fort Lee. But it kind of curved on her. She was trying to just go straight with that shot, kept on curling to the right. And for Pedrano and Fort Lee, they're able to breathe a sigh of relief as that long ball is cleared down to the midfield. Here's Ellis Marcus. Played out of bounds to the near side. Good hustle in the play by Dumont, just couldn't get to it in time. Now it's going to be a throw-in here for Fort Lee. The referee having some teaching moments here for some of the players. Anchor saying trying to limit the amount of contact that was being made just before even the throw-in was happening. 11:45 left to go here in the second half. Again, our next girls soccer broadcast will come on September 22nd. A home match between Fort Lee and Bergenfield. Then it's going to be another home match on the 28th against Cliffside Park. The next time that Fort Lee will be having a league match here at the Sugarman Sports Complex. But their next 3 consecutive matches will be on the road. At Dwight Morrow, at Tenafly, at Ridgefield Park. As that's cleared out of bounds to the far side. Diabauta, the junior defender, throwing it in to Jordana Marcus. Marcus couldn't weave out of the way of 4 different white-clad Huskies. He's defending there. A little contact. We play on. Dumont again trying to desperately find that elusive first goal of the season. Nice job of defending there by Olivia Crouch. She knew that she wasn't going to be able to run to the ball, but did a good job of just interfering enough with the advancing attacker to buy some time for her goalie to handle the loose ball. Nice play by Castro leading the way up top. Just looking for Joellen Rodriguez, who's coming to the game. Number 18. Shuki. A give and go. Nice play down the near side. Arango will come out, though, to collect it, as Joellen Rodriguez was trying to pounce on any loose ball opportunity of her own. Under 10 minutes now left to go in regulation. All Fort Lee today from the opening whistle. More subs being made by Dumont. They'll get a stretch after they complete their 4-game road trip, which again will be 3 more contests after today. As Castro is driven into the turf, a hard collision ensued. They'll then get a chance to fatten up at home. Dwight Morrow on the 28th, Pascack Hills on the 30th, and the return meeting between these two sides will come at the beginning of October on October 3rd at Dumont. Stolen away in the far side by Riley. So, back heels it, trying to keep it in play before it was going to go out of bounds for a potential corner. She does just that. Dumont now set up on the outer edges of the box. Ball loose played up top and played forward there by Fort Lee out to space near the midfield. Played forward. Adamili. She's been aggressive in trying to even add a little bit of a physical aspect to her game. That's gotten her a chance to win more possession in the midfield. Knocked out of bounds off of Gabby Galvez to the far side. Dumont with the throw-in. Now back to the midfield he goes. Sent forward by Kira Hughes. Haley So. So had a couple of great individual goals here today. But she had to weave her through the defense, including in the second half. She had a beautiful strike, splitting a double team and then uncorking a shot from distance. Now Jordana Marquez with a head of steam in front of her. Inside the box, takes the chip shot. That rang off the near side post. Karam's all the way out to the near side. I should say that rang off the far side post and Karam's out to the near side. Jordana Marquez, who's been more of a facilitator here today, assisting on other goals, had an opportunity to open up her own goal scoring here in the brand new 2022 season. That one whistled hard off of the far side post. Here's Castro. Stolen away. Adamili. Vellante doing a good job of shielding her off. Now Suzuki getting it up top. Back to Vellante, who plays it back. Patient work here in the back line. Backline's been solid here today for Coach Pagano's Bridgman. Stepping up was Ophelia Simone Escobar, number 20 for Dumont. Marcus, chip shot, and Arango with another good save. As we approach the final 5.5 minutes of the second half. Fort Lee defeated Dumont 2-0 last year here at home. Looking to produce their second straight shutout victory against the Huskies. It was a 3-2 high-scoring affair in the meeting last year at Dumont, which was the first of the 2 regular season meetings between these sides. Pedrado will kick that one into the open field. Dumont trying to collect it. Redfern throwing it back towards goal, but again, that goes well wide and out of bounds to the far left side. As the clock continues to meander its way down here on a pleasant afternoon. And certainly it's been a fun afternoon for Fort Lee. Coach Pagano getting a chance to empty his bench as well, getting some reserves, some varsity playing experience. Taken in by Bauta. Played up top. Shuki. Fort Lee trying to race underneath it. They had a 2-on-1 developing. Good job by Kira Hughes to win back possession. To the near side, good clean challenge. And they're going to say that it was last touch off of Fort Lee. Possession going back over to Dumont. Dumont competing in North 1 Group 2 this season, while Fort Lee is once again in North 1 Group 3. And in North 1 Group 3, they contend with the likes of Northern Highlands, Paramus, Ramapo, Wayne Valley, just to name a few. It's almost like a who's who of public school girls soccer here in this North 1 Group 3 bracket. 20 different teams, 16 spots, so 4 teams would not make the postseason. Got to pile up the wins when you can get them, and Fort Lee opening their win account here tonight. Under 3 minutes now left to go in this game. Latte playing it back to So. Now to Kraut. Up top. Elda Shuki, sophomore number 5. She of the fluorescent yellow shoes. Played wide to the far side, Escobar. Left it behind in the midfield. Collision ensues, foul whistled against Castro, as she was trying to win possession against Bridget Wagner. Free kick upcoming for Dumont. With under 2 minutes left to go in our game. Again, thank you so much, everybody who tuned in and supported these student athletes from both fine schools. We thank you for your support of our coverage here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department. And thanks to Dimitri Nanis, who's the man who produces everything. Today, our cameraman was Mike Richapi, doing the work high atop the press box. Dumont trying to hustle their way, but just could not save it before going out of bounds. It's always fun to help broadcast these games and spotlight some of the hardest working student athletes that North Jersey has to offer. Now Castro still with it, down the near side, and eventually it's played off of her out of bounds. It was good defending there by Kira Hughes. She was not falling for any of that fancy footwork by Castro right below us. As Dumont trying to race to it. That was Machia. Castro mishit that one. Latte to the far side will dribble it out. 30 seconds left to go. So Taylor Badrado and Fort Lee inching closer and closer to a clean sheet here. And a shutout victory. Jordana Marquez taking it to the far side. Last touch off of her will go out of play for a goal kick. As we dwindle down the final seconds here. And what a performance in the home opener in the 2022 season for the Fort Lee Bridgemen, as they will go on to defeat Dumont in the first of two regular season meetings by a final score of 8-0 here at the Sugarman Sports Complex. With a win, Fort Lee will improve to 1-1 on the season and 1-0 in the Big North American Division, as they will set their sights on enacting some revenge against the divisional champs from a season ago in their next game, as they will travel on September 15th to take on Dwight Morrow in their next game, trying to make it a 2-0 start in league play. Dumont will next travel to Westwood in an out-of-conference showdown before then traveling to Cliffside Park for their next league match on September 20th. A big day here for the Bridgemen. 4-goal performance by Alexa Castro. Haley So added a pair. Angelina Velate had a goal, as well as Lacey Barras chipping in for the 8 tallies for the Bridgemen. So that'll do it for us here from the Sugarman Sports Complex in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Fort Lee captures their first win of 2022. For Dimitri Nanis and Mike Riccioppi, I'm Dan Long saying so long, and we'll see you next time here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.